Hello and welcome to King Tech Coding Clinic, and in this demo video I'll walk you through the upgraded version of our school management system. Okay, so if this is the first time you're visiting this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Press the bell icon so that you get notified anytime we upload new tutorials. Don't forget to comment, also like and share. Okay, now this system is just all about the upgraded version of our previous school management system. The features that we have added on this new or the latest version include we have the admin login. Okay, unlike the previous version, which has just one login system where you can just log in and anyone at all can log in and have access to all the features of the system. In this particular version, the upgraded version, the admin is only the one who has the right to access the entire all the features of the system. We also have each and every class, so each and every class teacher also can log in and access just the features for their respective classes. Okay, and we also have a promotion of students, which is not included in the previous version. So in this version, you can promote students from one class to the other and also repeat students. It means you also have repetition of students, okay, which is not part of the previous version of the system. And in this new system as well, we also have SMS features where you can send SMS to teachers. Okay, send SMS, send them messages, send your teachers messages. We also have SMS to parent where you can send SMS to parent to get them notified with whatever you would want to do. And also we also have dynamic calendar for choosing dates, which is not included in the previous version. It's a very powerful calendar that we have included in this new version. And we also have also added classes such as crèche, nursery 1 and nursery 2, which were in part of the previous version. Okay, and we also added the class scores where you can keep track of student class scores, also keep track of their exam scores, also generate their exams reports with just few clicks of mouse, and a lot other features that have been added. So basically that is that. Now let's launch the application and then explore through all these features and see how they work. Now, on launching the system for the first time, or you move it from one location or destination to another on a PC, if you don't have macros enabled on your PC, you'll be prompted with this yellow information here or security warning here asking you to enable content, and you would have to do that to have macros running through the system. So once we click on that, we have this interface, and this is the welcome interface where each and every teacher or the admin can log in through to explore the features or the areas they have access to. Okay, so let's assume that we would want to log in as a particular class teacher. Let's say we would want to log in as maybe basic 1 teacher. So you click on this login button. So once you click on this login button, you choose from your class, you choose from this list, you choose from your class, you choose your class here, then enter your password for your class. Okay, so once you do that quickly, you just go ahead and click on login, and then there you go, you access only your class. Okay, so you have everything now disabled. You can't do anything at all. The only thing you are asked to do or you are limited to do is what you can do based on what or how the system is structured for you to do as a class teacher for your class. Okay, so on this interface, the basic 1 teacher can't access the home page. He or she can only add students. You can see, you click on this, you add your students for your class. You can click on this to save your data. You can click on this to promote student to the next class. You can click on this to navigate to your exam score. So once I click on this, I can move. You can see still basic 1. I can work around here, enter my student scores. I can go ahead and then generate reports quickly by clicking on this. So on this interface, I can quickly come here and then click on this browse to locate the folder which I would want to store the student exams reports. We'll be working through all that, so don't worry. Once I choose the folder and then click on this, I'll have the report generated based on the number of students in just a single folder for that particular class. So each and every class teacher can do this for their respective classes without any problem, without any stress. Okay, you can equally generate the reports in Excel. It still doesn't matter, all the same, you can do that as well. It's all about what you want to do. So basically that is that. You can also access the homepage from here, and then you can quickly switch back to class, and then you would want to log out. So once you click on log out, you'll be prompted with this information asking, are you sure you want to log out? You say no, then you will log out. But once you click on this and you say yes, then you are logged out, and says logged out successfully. So you can equally log in again for a different class. Okay, so let me try logging in maybe for as a crèche teacher. So I'll just click on this and then log in as a crèche teacher. So I'll just enter my password and then quickly log in, and there we go. I have access to just my page as a crèche teacher, and that is what I can have access to. I can do anything aside what I'm expected to do for my class, where I can add my students equally. I can save data after adding. I can promote students to nursery 1. I can equally log out. As for crèche, nursery 1 and nursery 2, they are not part of the exam, so they don't explore the exams features. So we can equally log out from here, and then we are good to go. Now let's log in as an admin. Okay, let's log in as an admin where we can access all the features of the system, and then we can explore through all these features. So let's quickly click on this, then you choose admin from here, and you just add a password. Perfect. So we'll click on this, then we are now logged in as admin. So let's see, just logging in as admin. So there we go. So the admin can access through all the features. This is the home page. The admin can access the home page. The admin can access the about page, the student page, and the admin can go to the admission, go to earnings date of the student, you can come back home, come back to student admission. Here you can admit students here and do whatever you would want to do. Let's quickly get back home. The admin can access all the classes from here. Click this and then you go to basic 3 class, and then you can go back home as well. The admin can access the home button. The admin can access all the exam scores to check to make sure that each and every teacher has or have entered their class exam scores and whatever for all that. So you can quickly go back home. The admin can make sure that reports are also generated for each and every class and all that. Okay, the admin is the one who has the right to send messages to teachers as well as what parent as well. So you can equally do that, and then send SMS to what parent as well. So basically the admin has the right to do all these things, and quickly the admin can equally just log out. If it says no, yes, you wouldn't log out, but you say yes, then you get logged out from the system. Now we would want to log in again as an admin and then access or show the tools and also hide the tools. So let's do that again. We log in again, and then quickly we enter our password. There we go. So once we are logged in as an admin, so that is how we are logging in. There we go. So now we can show all the tools and access everything about the Microsoft Raven. We can equally do whatever we want to do here. The admin has the right to do all that. No any other class teacher can do that except the admin. Okay, so basically that is that you can equally hide the tools also as well. The admin can equally reset the password for any of the teachers. Once the admin click on this, we come here. This is the database that holds the usernames and then the password for all the classes. Okay, so you can come here and change them all by yourself. The admin can do that. No any other person can do that. You can switch and come back home perfectly. Now let's quickly show the tools and then access one of the classes and do whatever we would want to do. Okay, so basically let's quickly switch to one of the classes here. Let's see, okay, let's go to which of the classes can we go to. So let's go to basic 1. So here we don't have data, so let's try inputting some data from here. So once we click on this, we can go ahead and then add some data from here. Let's say 0001, and we add a student's name. Let's say James Yolna dates, James dates. Okay, so then quickly choose from the calendar and then get my date of birth. Then it's a male. Then choose class. That is basic 1, right? So you choose from the class here. Choose basic 1 and then status. Maybe if it's promoted or repeated, you choose that promoted. No guardian. Mr. James. Let me put it that way. There we go. Then the contact. Sorry, Mr. James. And the contact, and then we just add that as well here. So once we are done, we can just go ahead and then add. Let's try to add another one. So each and every class teacher can do this for their respective classes. So what happens is that once the administrator is done admitting the student, the records or the details of the student will be given to the particular class teacher to also enter for their class. Okay, supposing the student is admitted in class 2, then the record of the student will be given to the class 2 teacher to also enter for the class. The admin can equally do that because the admin has the right to all the classes. So basically that is that. So let's enter another one. Let's say the admission number is 0045. So we do that. And the full name maybe Ama So first name, then Yao, then maybe Ama again, maybe Ama, and maybe choose date of birth, you can choose whatever. With the date of birth, you can navigate and then choose the year from here, also the month from here. You can equally switch them from here as well. Choose the month from here and then choose whatever you would want to choose. She's a female. Then the class, that is basic 1, and then you can say status is maybe promoted, then the guardian maybe Yao, perfect, then the contact as well, and we can equally go ahead and then add that as well. So perfectly executed. Now we are done adding some dummy data which we can work around with. Okay, so let's explore through to see all that. So perfect, everything is there. Let's confirm the contact and everything. That is that. Now I have dummy data entered in all the various classes. Okay, starting from crèche straight to basic 9. So let's just check on that. So it is just the same data. I just copied all over the various sheet just to speed up everything so that we don't waste time entering data. So you can equally do that, have the same data copied, or if you have the time, you can enter your own data and then you explore through all the features. Okay, now let's navigate and see what the teachers can do to this data for their respective classes. So right now we are on basic 7 class. So as a basic 7 teacher, what are some things you can do? So supposing a student is out of the school, you would want to delete the student from the system, or you would want to change the status of the student. So to do that, quickly click on this add button. So whatever we can do here can be done in all the classes by each and every class teacher, right? So what we need to do is first of all search the student. You can click on this and click on search, and then you have the student records unpacked here for you, okay, displayed here for you. So you can go ahead, suppose, and let's say this particular student is a female and not a male. We can just choose female now and then click on update, and then we have the record updated. So you can see that it's now a female, and then this one to female. Okay, so basically we can do that by changing the details here. First of all, searching for the data and then doing the changes and then clicking on update. Now let's assume the student is out of the school and we don't want to delete the details of the student. We can just change the status of the student. So let's click on this. Let's assume that the second student here is not in school. So what do we do? So we can click on search to search the student data. Then we go to class and then update this and say no more in school. So once we choose this and then click on update, then we have this red color highlighted on the records of that particular student to show that the student is out of school. You can equally delete this student. So how do we do that? It's just by searching the student and then clicking on delete. Then you have the student deleted from your base. Okay, so basically that is that. You can do the same thing for all the classes from one class to the other. Okay, so you can do that for all. Each and every class teacher can equally do that without any problem, without any stress. Now, how do we promote students from one class to another? Okay, so that is the next line of action. So let's see how we can figure out that. Okay, so now we have data in all the classes as usual. So you need to make sure you have the data right like that before you can do that. Now, first thing first, we can just do that. Looking at the system, we can just do that by the click of a mouse, right? You can just click on this. But once we click on this, you see the information. It says what? You can't promote student now. It's either the students have already been promoted or your students list is not ready or accurate. Please check to make sure you have all your student details ready and accurate, and also the next class of students must be promoted to the next class before promoting your students. Thank you. So that is the information. This simply means that to promote your student from your class to the next class, there are 2 conditions that have to be met, or you have to meet 2 conditions. And the first one is that you have to make sure that your data, there is no gap in your data is valid and accurate. You can't promote students with gaps in your data, like no serial number, no admission number and stuff. So once you hit this button and then you have that information, the first thing to check is to make sure that your data is valid and accurate. Then the next thing to find out is that this is basic 3 and then we are promoting to basic 4. So find out from basic 4 teacher whether he has already promoted his students. If not, then you would have to wait until that is done. But if it is the same person, that is the admin who is doing all that, he wouldn't encounter any of these issues because he knows that he has to promote this and make this class ready before the next class will be promoted, right? So that is that. So when these 2 conditions are met, you can then go ahead and promote your students in peace without any problem, without any stress. Okay, so now let's start from the top class here. Now let's assume that these are our final year students. They have completed and then they are no more in school. They are done writing their final exams, and then they are gone. Okay, they've taken their certificate and they are done. So now this is their data. There are two things involved here. It's either we do away with their data or we keep it for reference in the near future. So I prefer we keeping that data, okay, for the sake of future. We can refer to it for whatever purpose we intend to. So to do that, we would have to export this data by hitting this export button. So once you click on this, then you have the data exported. So now we need to prepare this data. So once we have it exported, just press and hold Control on the keyboard and then select all these things here. You don't need the buttons now. Okay, select. Once you're done, just press delete on the keyboard and you have this deleted. So you can just stretch this now and then open this up like this. Yeah, preparing the data to save it for future use. Okay, so once you are done, just go to File, Save As, and then you can name it 2022 or 2023 batch or whatever, or whichever year they've completed. Okay, so let me say 2020 batch. Okay, so I can name it like that. So once I'm done, just press enter, then I have it 2020 batch. You can see from the top here. So basically that is that. So now I'm done exporting that data. So it means we are safe. We can refer to it at any time we want. So now that we are done with that, we can now prepare this sheet for promotion. So to do that, we hit this button. So we have this prompt here which says that, are you sure you would want to do away with this data? If you say no, you have nothing done. But once you say yes, then you have this data cleared. So now you can promote those in basic 8 to 9 now. So once we come to basic 8 and hit on this, so we are prompted with another question again. Are you sure you want to promote student to basic 9? If you say no, they wouldn't be promoted. You click and you say yes, then you have them promoted successfully. You come to basic 7, promote, yes, they are promoted successfully. You come to basic 6, promote, they are promoted successfully. You come to basic 5, promote, they are promoted successfully. You come to basic 4, promote, they are promoted. So you can do that for all the rest of the classes to get them promoted. Okay, so basically that is that. Now let's look at some few tips on repetition. So supposing you would want to repeat, let's say you would want to repeat this student here, that is Yao, that is Ama, something like that stuff. Okay, you don't want the student to be promoted to basic 6. However, first of all, you have to make sure he or she is promoted. Then once they are promoted, you can then repeat the person. So how do we do the repetition? Is by deleting the person's data in basic 6 now and quickly give back the data of that person to basic 5 teacher to keep there and then update the record. So now I can delete this student here by going to this, search for the student and then search, quickly delete the student and then it's out here. Okay, so now these students, the one that I have here, are all promoted, right? So what I'm going to do right now is just to come here now, quickly come here. And then if this is the student now, I've just updated her record here now. So what I'm going to do is that instead of promoted, I'll say is what? Repeated. So I'll just click on this, add, and search for the student. So instead of promoted, I'll say repeated. Then I'll just click on update, and then I have that. So each and every teacher has to update those records to make sure that they indicate those that are promoted and then those that are repeated for each and every class. So you can see this is actually basic 5, but you can see basic 1 here. That is because I copied the dummy data I entered in basic 1 to all the sheets across. So that is why we have that. You can just, since you are not going to do that, right, you have to enter the data and make sure you enter for each and every class. So you shouldn't have this gap here. So right. So but if you want to update that, it's very simple. You can click on this, search for the students, search, and then you would want to update what? That is basic 5. So click on this, scroll down to basic 5, and then click on update. Okay, there you go, basic 5. That is that. So select this one to search. We want to update to basic 5. So you are done, then you click on update, also updated to basic 5. So that is that about promotion. So you can just do this or follow these few steps to promote and repeat your students. That is that about promotion. All right, now how do we generate terminal report or exams report for a class? Okay, so first of all, let me just log out from here and log in as a particular class teacher and then generate report for that particular class. Report log out successfully. So I would want to log in as maybe basic 6 class teacher, okay, because I've already entered some demo data for that particular class to speed up this video. So let me log in as basic 6 teacher, and then I quickly go there, basic 6, and then I enter my password. Login successful. So as basic 6 class teacher, I'm just logging here. So there we go. Now, like I said, I would want to generate report as a basic 6 class. So I can't do anything for any particular class except for my class. So let me do that for my class. Okay, so to do that, this is my class. So I'll just click here and then come to exams center here. So here I can work around my results. So I already have demo data entered for class scores as well as exam scores, 50%, 50% for both. So you just enter, sum up all the class scores and then get 50% of it and then enter here exam score 50% of it and enter for each and every subject. Okay, so once you are done with that, you would want to come here. Okay, just scroll this way and come here, and then what are the interests and attitude of the student. But before you do that, you would want to quickly create the exams list from here. Let me just maximize this. You would want to create exams list from here. Now we don't have student. Okay, so we would want to grab the data from our class, basic 6 class, straight to this particular class here. So to do that, let's check the data from that particular class and make sure that everything is up and running, because now that the number on row here shows dash, it means there is something wrong with my data there, and I would have to figure that out quickly. Let's go back there. So we go to class. So this way, basic 6 class. So now you can see that for the class here, instead of basic 6, I have basic 5. So we make sure it is basic 6. So we update that from here. Just select this, search, go this way, update to basic 6, and then quickly click on update. Updated successfully. Second person, do the same thing. We search, we update basic 6, then we update successfully. Perfect. So now that we have that, I think our data is now up and running. We can then go back to exam score. So you can now see that the number on row is now 2222 for all. Okay, depends on the number of students we have. So you can now see that the number of students is now 222. So basically that is that. So now we can then go ahead and generate or create our exams list. So to do that, just hit this button here which says create exams list. So once we click on it, you can see that we have the basic 6 data fetched and then brought here successfully. We have the student's name, admission number, class, and then the gender. Okay, so that is that. So you can capture the attendance here. Let's say 34 out of maybe 40, and then this one too, let's say 45, sorry, 29 out of what, maybe same 40 for that. Perfect. So once we are done with that, you would want to go this way and check the interest and then attitude of the student, get that up and running. Okay, so once we do that, quickly come here. What are the interests of the student? Maybe at work. This one, what is the interest? Maybe reading. The attitude is what? Maybe very humble. Then maybe decent. Then the closing date, you just enter the closing date. Maybe the day you have vacation, maybe 12/2022. Perfect. So you enter that here. So you can just drag to fill this here for this particular student as well. Let's figure this out. Sorry. Let's change this out to 12. Perfect. So we have that as well. Now resuming date, let's assume it's the same. You can just copy this and just to speed up certain things here, right? So we have that. So now the academic year, okay, the academic year, or you can just enter the dates manually. That is that. The academic year, let's say this is 2021. Let me just assume 2021, and then the term, which of the term is it? Is it term 1 or term 2? So you enter that term 1. Then the class, what are the remarks for the class teacher? You can say must study harder. Then this person too, you can say keep up. And head teacher's remarks, and that one too, you can say can do better. And then this person, for this student, you can say must sit up and blah blah. So once you are done with all this data entering, click on back, and there you go. So from here we can then go ahead and then generate report for the student. But before we do that, let's create a folder here and name it basic 6 reports. So we can refer to that folder. We can name it basic 6 report. Okay, report. So we can name it PDF. Okay, we can name it PDF, and then we can create another one and name it Excel, because we might want to generate for both, maybe basic 6 reports, maybe Excel. Okay, perfect. So we have the two down. Perfect. So now we can now go back here. Let's go to report. So we click on this. So there we go. So from here, when you click on this, it says what? Please click on browse browse folder path button to get the folder path before generating the report. So it means you need to click on this before you do that. So even this one, when you click, you have the same prompt. So once you do that, you need to click on this. So let's browse. Let's assume we want to generate PDF, right? So we go to desktop, then we choose the folder basic 6 report PDF. So once we have that up and running, we can just hit this button here. So let's watch. So you can see we have the second person generated. So done. There are just 2 students, then we are done. So we can minimize this. Let's come to the folder here. Let's double click. So you can see that the report are generated based on the names of the student. You can see that we have James and then the dates, blah blah blah. The second name is date. I entered that date, so don't worry. We have Via Ama and then the class, and basically that is that. So now once we are done, we can just double click to open this. Okay, there is some information, accessibility stuff. Okay, I need to go to next, then maybe next, then next, then next, then done. Okay, perfect. So you shouldn't face this problem. Maybe some stuff here. Now there we go with the report of the student. So we can zoom in so that you can see the report clearly for the student. So we have everything here up and running. We have the name, we have the admission number, we have the class form, we have the gender, we have the term, the closing date, presuming date, attendance, this out of this. And then we have the roll number. There are just 2 position in class first, average score 62. Everything is just up and running without any problem, without any. So if that's generated the report for the student, you can go ahead and issue printing. You can check for the second person as well. So you make sure that it's also generated perfectly without any issues here. So you can go ahead and execute printing as we stated. Perfect. Now why don't we try generating out of Excel? So we can hit this button again and generate. Okay, it will be generated in the same folder path. So done already. So I wanted to choose a different folder since we've created that of the folder for Excel. Now we can minimize this now. So once we visit the same folder, we can have that of Excel to generate it. We have this one. Let's open it. So there we go. This is the report generated in Excel. You can see the success report generated in Excel. So basically that is that. So you can minimize this one as well, and then minimize this. So basically that is that for now. So quickly, what we need to do is we can close this now since we don't need it. So now let's assume the term has come to an end, and then we would want to do what? Maybe prepare for or generate report for another term, let's say second term or whatsoever. So what do we do? Let's switch back to what the reports template here. So now what we are going to do right now is this. So let's assume this is the second term. The one we've just created is the first term. We are now in second term, and then we would have to prepare for that as well. Or maybe the academic year has ended, and then new set of students have also been promoted toward basic 6, and for that matter we need their list here. Like I said, anytime we create lists, the list is generated from the class. So whatever the student we have there will just be transported straight to this place, and then you can use them for their report generation. So let's assume we are done for this, and then we are in a new term or new academic year. So we still need the system to generate report for different set of students. So what do we do now? So now what we can do is this. If we need this data, if there is a need, we keep this data for reference, then we have to maybe export it. So how do we do that? We just click on export. So we have this data. You see that the data is exported. So once it's exported, this is a new workbook that is created. Okay, so what we are going to do right now is this, to go ahead and then save this workbook. Okay, you can save this workbook, and then we can refer to it anytime we want. Okay, so that is that. You would want to save this workbook and then refer to it anytime you would want. So if you don't want it to, you can just go ahead and close it and then say don't save. So once you are done exporting the workbook as we have done in the previous one, you can then go ahead and prepare the sheet for new entries. So how do we do that? We just go ahead and click on clear scores. So once we click on clear scores, this will clear all the scores on the sheet. So let's click. So it says, what do you want to clear? Do you want to clear scores to prepare the sheet for new entry? If you say no, it wouldn't do anything. But once you say yes, then it gets all the scores are cleared. Now when you scroll to the extreme end here, you can see everything is gone. So also the lists here, we can also clear the list by using what this particular button here. Once we click on this, and then it says, what do you want to clear exams list? If you say no, it wouldn't clear the list. But once you say yes, and then you have the list cleared. So now based on the student you now have in your class, you can then click on this to create new list, and then it will transfer the student from that spot from the class. So let's assume let's go to the class now. Let's see something. We go to the class. So now let's try changing some names here. So let's check the full name. The full name is here. Very good. So the full name is, let's say, Kwame Ansah or whatever, and then here AJ for short, or AJ, whatever. So now that we are done, we can save it now and then click on OK. So now let's go to exam scores. Now let's create new list, and then once we click on this, so you can see that we have Kwame Ansah and then AJ created, and then their respective admission numbers and then classes. So we can then go ahead and generate report for them. So the same thing applies to other classes. So basically, this is how we generate report from the system. Now, how do we send SMS to either parent or student using the system? So simple. Since it is only the admin who can do that, let me quickly log out and then log in as an admin, and then quickly I should have that up and running. So log in as an admin. Here I am logging as an admin. Quickly, I would want to show all the tools and have access to all the features. So quickly, to do that, just navigate to SMS, and then I would want to navigate to teachers. So now with this, ideally we would have to create an account with a website called smsonlinegh.com. Okay, so once we create an account with them, and then we can download this plugin, that is Excel Messenger plugin, from them. So once we download this particular plugin from here, we can then go ahead and then have it updated inside of our Excel workbook, and then we can access it on this interface and use it to send SMS to parents. So right now you can see that the contact information here is just a bit of zeros, because we need to grab this from, since this is for the teachers, we need to grab this from the teachers data. Okay, so we need to have this data entered from here. So once we have the teachers data updated, then we can have their contact appearing here as well as their names here. So once we have all that entered, so let me just quickly go home. Let's go to teachers, let's go to records. So quickly, let's try. The record is too large, so let's try entering some one data. So let's say, so you can see we have the name as well as the contact number entered here. Perfect. So here we can go ahead and send SMS to this contact without any problem. So to do that, right now we should create an account with that website, and I'll show you how to do all that. You don't have any problem. So just click on login. So here I would have to enter my login details. Okay. So once I'm done with that, I'll just enter my password. So once I'm done, quickly click on login, and then I should log in. So once I'm done logging in, you will have other tools added to it, which means I can go ahead and send SMS. So you can see that. So from here, I'll go here and then go to compose SMS. So as usual, let me choose this, and then I quickly go for this. Then I'll say hi. Then I'll open the curly braces, then the $sign, and the $sign, then the name variable here. Then I'll close curly bracket, then then comma. You say there be a meeting tomorrow. Okay, perfect. So once you are done with that, quickly tomorrow. So once you are done with that, you just say thank you, whatever. Maybe admin. Perfect. Admin. So once you are done, so perfect. So once you are done with that, you can choose to schedule your message. So once you click on this, you have one variable here, that is the name variable. So it's holding the name for all the teachers, so you don't have any problem with that. So once you have that done, quickly the next thing we're going to do is just to, if you would want to schedule the message, then you schedule the message. If you don't want to schedule, then you uncheck this, and then quickly you go to next. So here you would want to add from words from sheet, the sheet you are sending a message through. So this is the sheet. Okay, so the column which has or which holds the contact number is column B, and then the column which holds the name is column A. So you choose that. So once you are done, click on OK. So at least we should have one destination added now. So you have one unique destination has been added. So that means the contact is now correct. So there we go. So now from here we can go ahead and send the SMS. So once we click on send, it's like this. Once we click on send, so we should have the SMS. So it's now sent, message dispatched, and effectively that is that. So basically that is how we send SMS. All right, so this is the SMS I have on my PC, on my iPhone now, which says what? KTCC. So this is it. So there we go. I have the SMS here. So that is that. You can see the SMS on my phone, which says what? Hi Isa, there will be a meeting tomorrow. Thank you. And straightforward, everything is done. Thank you, admin, and it means the message is now sent and then up and running without any problem, without any stress. So now basically that is how we send SMS using the system as well. So you can repeat the same process for the parent as well. So that is that about this demo on our upgraded version of the school management system quickly. So I think that is everything is now up and running. You can just quickly log out from here as well, and there we go home. So now everything is now up and running. Now this particular system is already available on Seller, so you can just check. This is the link. You can just check the link on Seller and just grab the link. The link is also in the video description below. You can just grab it, just click on the link and then grab the copy of the system for your school, and then you can go ahead and then use it. Now we'll also have a master class on how to teach you on how to upgrade the system. So we have the master class, so you can check the link in the video description below. You can just tap on the link to join the master class, and then we take you through step by step on how to upgrade our system to the next level. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell icon so that you get notified anytime we upload new tutorials. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. Till our next lesson. Thank you and bye.